Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Heavy Wrestling Podcast. You got Clayton, we got Eddie, we got me, and of course we have little Frenchy Fry. It says fries before guys, and it's got a little heart right here.
Hey,
So
but
I'm
if
pretty
you want
excited
to ignore that and then follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, make sure to tune in each and every week on Spotify, Apple Music, and Podbean.
What the fuck?
All right,
Diabetes.
so
Iridocyclitis.
what cirrhosis? I don't know what we're saying anymore.
I already did the socials. Do something. Prank them, John.
Do your job.
I'm trying to, and you guys want to say random medical terms. All right. All that aside, we are in the home stretch. This is the final week leading up to WrestleMania. Most of the matches are determined. We are up to, let me count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are up to 11 matches. A lot of the rumors and speculations were 7 matches a night, so we need 3 more over the next couple days. Earlier when we were chatting, Clayton said something about maybe just adding 1 more and doing 6 a night. How do you guys feel about that? You want 6 or 7 matches a night?
I'd normally say the more the merrier, but keep it 6, and we're missing some battle royals.
Yeah. Are we doing those this Friday or?
This
that's
coming
what we've done the last couple
Friday
years.
is going to be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
Damn it!
And then the Mae Young. No, not the
No.
Mae Young Classic.
It's not the Fabulous Moolah. She got canceled.
Oh, that's right. Moolah got canceled.
It's
so
just the women's battle royal.
And it's not dedicated to anyone. They couldn't call it
No.
the China Memorial Battle.
They probably could have called
I feel
it
like
the
I
China
said that
Memorial.
last year, actually.
She eliminated Mark Henry in a Royal Rumble. Zach, replay.
That would
If
require...
you know Zach and his editing skills, he's not going to do that. You just pointed at the camera for no reason.
All right, Zach.
Stupid idiot.
Zoom in on Randy.
For them to name the China Memorial Battle Royale Lollapalooza, they would actually have to want to acknowledge China's history, which they don't.
I mean, they acknowledged her enough to let
I
her
think
into
they
the Hall of
acknowledge
Fame.
China's history enough.
Ooh, the same Hall of Fame Donald Trump's in?
I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, but it was recent. Like it's different.
He's on the celebrity wane.
Yeah. But
Name every Hall of Fame inductee right now that's going in this year.
I couldn't do that.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Paul Heyman.
They had a random one. They had a really random one that didn't even wrestle for the WWE. But they kind of do that.
That tag team with Bray Wyatt's dad.
U.S. Express, I know that
the
one.
U.S. Express.
What were you saying about the only black inductee this year, Eddie?
What's his name?
No, Eddie, I think that's his point. What's his name?
No, yeah, that's what I'm asking. What's his name?
Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Patterson. There was no fucking way I was going to get that. WWE history. Knowledgeable. I can give you Big Cat Ernie Ladd. I can give you JYD. I can give you Coco Beware. I can go down the line with as many people as possible.
It's okay, bud. We're going to move right past your casual racism.
All right. Zach, replay that casual racism.
He might actually replay that.
Yeah.
just for the bit. All right, so all of these matches are still listed as to be determined on what night, but we know that the Bloodline main event, night 1, with Bloodline versus Cody and Seth, and night 2, Roman and Cody are main eventing with their title match. Logically, because Seth is fighting on night 1, Seth and Drew should take place on night 2. That's how it's listed here. Hopefully that comes to fruition.
So what did Rock whisper to Cody?
He said, "Tonight, I'm going to make you bleed." That's confirmed.
That is confirmed? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's confirmed. That's what he said to him. And then he was right.
He did kind of make him bleed.
He made him bleed in front of his dog.
In front of his dog. Why would you do that? Coward.
I mean, one would ask why he kept whipping Cody with the belt after he knew the cameras were off.
Dude, wild. If you haven't seen the clip yet of The Rock being like, "What, this stops because the cameras are off? Fuck that." And it just like motherfucks the producer.
Your script? Fuck that.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's just like, I'm going to keep killing this guy. Like, it's wild. You should see it.
So does this mean he's going to win because of all of this?
I mean, most people are under the impression that in order for Cody to have the most to overcome for his title win, that Bloodline is going to win night 1.
I feel like that's the only way they do it. If the Cody and Seth somehow win,
I think that means Cody loses.
Yeah, I think that means Cody loses. I
which
100%
is
agree.
upsetting.
That's what your boy said like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Bloodline rules. So we think Cody's going to lose.
Hold on, you said that 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not him.
But you said my boy.
Me.
Oh.
Second person.
No, you're my little man.
No.
I'm his boy. You're his little man.
I'm not participating in whatever that is. Anyway, yeah, no, that's what I've been saying this entire time.
Also, stop commenting James Ellsworth. All right, we're just going to address this right now. They actually did it.
I'm moving past the James Ellsworth.
Also,
bit.
Virgil? Really? You're still doing that?
I'm moving past the Virgil bit too. I'm not going to receive a $70 invoice from Beyond the Grave just for saying his name.
I hate everything.
All right. So I'm just going to run us down the line on what this has, and we're going to do our WrestleMania predictions, and then we're going to talk about everything that happened. Actually, do you guys want to talk about what happened this week first, or do you want to go through WrestleMania predictions first?
Just hit this week. Get it out of the way.
So we already talked a little bit about Cody and The Rock. I was pleasantly surprised to see The Rock get physically involved at this point. I didn't expect that, mainly because I didn't. Probably much like everyone else, I couldn't tell what he whispered when he did it.
We have a Hollywood Rock. I feel like he's not going to do anything until it's most convenient for him. Yeah. And I did not think that was the time either. Personally.
It's surprising. I honestly forgot he was there when the rest of the bloodline started showing up.
Right.
I forgot The Rock was there. And then it happened, and he kicked the shit out of Cody Rhodes and made him bleed.
So what I would say to you both is Hollywood Rock, the original, is responsible for one of the worst beatings ever in WWE. Hollywood Rock, the second generation of it, is now responsible for the worst beating on WWE TV.
What's the first Hollywood Rock
Probably
beating
Hurricane. Was it Hurricane?
Mm-mm.
Was it Stone Cold?
Are you talking about Mankind? Because that was corporate Rock, not Hollywood Rock.
That was the beginning of the transition.
Those are like...
Yeah, I think those are pretty far
Those
off.
are 5 years apart.
Yeah.
You're talking about like 1998 versus 2004. That's 5 or 6 years apart.
He called Hurricane the Hamburglar. I mean, that was kind of mean.
That was funny as shit.
Yeah, that was great. No, I mean, but to the point you are making though, yeah, like The Rock is responsible for a lot of some really gory beatdowns. So it's not exactly out of character for any heel version of The Rock to do something like that. But it carried on for a while. It was longer than I thought it was going to be.
I thought. Well, cutting off the cameras, that definitely show. Well, that's definitely just more. Get the emotion in. Probably also just bump up the social count as much as possible, too. So I think that's a great job on The Rock's part. I feel like now it's a lot more personal. Or somehow it's a lot more personal.
Yeah, somehow now.
Somehow it's a lot more personal.
There is a 1:40 supercut from the moment he comes in beating Cody till after it goes off the air of just The Rock saying, "It's there and you're."
Yeah.
So, like the beating, yes. The John Cena Stone Cold truck placement,
Yeah.
yes. What Rock was actually saying, I thought he was out of breath.
Yeah, I'm really hoping his cardio is good. I mean, it's a tag match. He'll go in and out. They'll still do rest spots, but like I'm hoping he doesn't gas out early on this match.
It's a lot of meat on one man. We have to realize that.
Yeah, and I'm calling it now too. He's gonna fail his kip up again. He's gonna go for it and stumble or something. Because he has the last couple times he's been in a match, just doesn't do it as well because he's too big now.
He's just too big.
I say that, but the Big Show did it in WCW. But
he also had to hold the rope.
oh yeah, that's true. I guess he did.
Ugh,
Rock's
Big
trying.
Show.
Rock's doing a great job. I'm entertained. I'm thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, that's a lot of people are saying right now The Rock is doing what he should be doing, and I do agree. I just hope he doesn't. I'm glad we got past the whole Rock Roman thing as well as we did, with that title match. I feel like WWE did a good job navigating that and responding to the crowd, and it was as logically as possible navigated back to where it should have been the whole time. And I'm hoping that with that comes the right logical conclusion of Cody winning as well. But we'll have to see how they do that depending on what their plan is and everything else.
They've swerved us once. They can swerve us again. I'm going in with an open mind, which I feel like I shouldn't have to do. But at the same time, it makes for better television, better reactions. I get it. I do get it. Thoughts?
God, I'm still in the same position. Cody still doesn't need to win.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't need to, but I want him to, and I think he should.
Thought the same thing last year.
Yeah. I don't see why they give him 2 Rumble wins with 2 failed title shots. I just don't.
My thing is, what can he do in the year? What can he do for another year?
Yeah, like
Actually have a program with The Rock.
Yeah, you could. Well, yeah.
For a whole year, The Rock's going to take an entire year out of acting? No shot.
I mean,
Unless he does half of it via satellite, and that's boring.
I mean, I thought the Brock thing was a little, like, I thought that was much. Like, I thought, why? Why are we doing this? They tried to, it would have made more sense for Solo. We know Solo ain't going to do anything.
Yeah. Much less talk.
Yeah.
Not going to do anything.
Hit it.
talk and have bad needs and
There it is. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that was noteworthy of talking about was Jade Cargill making her first SmackDown appearance as an official member of the roster.
She looks so good.
Her entrance was good. I
Yes.
liked her entrance.
Little.
That's very much her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dakota Kai's the female Dolph Ziggler, but in Jade's case, that made that pop-up powerbomb look devastating.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was incredible. I'm really excited for her to have a match at WrestleMania. I'm hoping she does well. I don't think she doesn't seem like the kind of person that will crack under that kind of pressure.
No.
Especially given she's one of 3 people on her team. But I'm also glad that the women's tag titles at least have a match at Mania.
Yeah.
They're not defending it, but I was really worried they were just going to get left off the card.
My prediction, 3-person stack pin. Jade pins all 3 of them.
That would be wild, dude. Especially because she would be doing that in front of Naomi and Bianca.
Yes.
And specifically Bianca, who's also like a powerhouse.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's specifically what her character is designed around.
I mean, I could see them doing, Bianca does her finisher, Naomi does her finisher, stacks her person, and then Jade just power bombs Dakota on top of the Kabuki Warriors and pins all 3.
Yeah. And that way any of them could have gotten the pin, but it just happens to be Jade.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
She's had the fastest rise to stardom and just, I feel like being over as hell in the first place. I feel like it's a very quick rise.
Rise?
She was already out. I thought it was a rise to stardom. Absolutely,
Brother, she came over a star.
That's an even better way of looking at it.
She
too.
came over a star who just happens to be extremely green in the ring.
Yeah.
Is what it is. She came over with like, I don't know. I don't want to say John Cena level star power. She came over with like Edge level star power. She came over with Edge level star power with like John Cena in his second year wrestling ability.
Is she using the "I'm that bitch" moniker, or we're just not doing that? Even though The Rock can say the F word,
It's coming.
It's coming. She's gonna get there.
Good. I'm happy.
They're going to be off network TV for Raw anyway soon.
Yeah, when they get to Netflix, even though they'll want to probably remain a little bit PG, they're gonna be able to expand what they can and can't do.
Pushing
on
a
Raw.
lot of the limits. Blood. There's
Blood's
that.
been there.
Blood's-
Here's the thing.
With Cody, the question was brought up: did he blade or was that a capsule?
The way that it was after Rock threw him into the truck and then picked him up and like held his face by the chin.
Yeah.
How the blood was going down made me think capsule.
Yeah.
Because it was the way Cody's head was tilted. If it was free flowing, it should have flowed back like this.
Yeah, it was a capsule.
rather than down his temple.
For me, it was the color. It seemed a little bright.
It was
I don't
very
know if
bright.
it was just the lighting or what. But the reason why I could believe that it was bladed is because it kept coming. Like there was more and more, and he wasn't adding.
You also got to look at the family lineage there. Like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Dusty's absolute
Dusty bladed like a
carved-out gravel
motherfucker.
road. His
Yeah.
carved out gravel road of a forehead.
So that would make me think Dad did it.
Cody's not a stranger to blading.
No.
Like, he's bladed before. Like, that's not a problem. It's just whether or not did he or not.
It's a pretty normal thing to do if you need blood. Didn't do it the old Brock Lesnar way where he just absolutely...
Yeah, they didn't hard way it for sure. It wasn't... If they did it, it wasn't hard way. It was bladed.
Yeah, very much.
But let us know in the comments if you think Cody bladed or if it was a capsule.
I also don't care about James Ellsworth, so stop commenting that.
Anytime I say comment, he's going to go to James
Because
Ellsworth.
who the hell does that?
Ugh. All right. Well, those
Be
were the
more
two main
respectful.
things of note. There were some other tag matches that led to the ladder match, but we'll cover those when we get to that match on
Oh,
this
they
card.
were already covered last week when I accurately predicted exactly what was going to happen in Street Profits.
I mean, it wasn't... What?
We get it. You're a smart.
It wasn't that difficult to predict.
psychic.
Yeah, you're a smart.
I'm psychic.
That's fine.
I'm Vince Russo on meth and cocaine, so that means I'm on God mode.
He was already on meth and cocaine.
Yeah.
Good, not stepped on meth and cocaine.
Yeah, let us know whose mom you're going to put on a forklift match. All right. So, as this goes, Bloodline versus Seth and Cody. I think we all think Bloodline's going to win that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the most compelling answer there.
Okay. Seth versus Drew.
I think it's Drew's match to lose at that point.
I'm going to go even further. We're going to see a Sheamus Daniel Bryan situation.
You think it's just going to be under 20
He
seconds?
is going to smush Seth.
Well-
one, helps Seth's character because that's a compelling loss that he's never really had that he now needs to recover from.
Yeah.
Helps Drew because now all the player hater of the year that he has been to this point is now justified,
It's validated, yeah.
and he's Billy Badass on the block now. Since I started thinking about it over this weekend, I sincerely believe it is a 5-minute or less match, and Drew squishes him.
The only reason I would be okay with that is to see whatever T-shirt he comes out with the match time on it. McIntyre 2:14 or whatever.
I don't think that wouldn't happen. I think with a loss coming the night before, I think it is totally doable to make that happen.
Would you be disappointed if it was a squash? Because we
Yeah.
know those two can put on a good match.
I would be disappointed if it was a squash because you're giving them the biggest stage and you make it a squash. Like I thought with Seth and Brock when that happened, I thought I'm like, really?
Well, I mean, when it happened with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus,
Yeah.
too.
I thought Sheamus, in the state he was in, it made a little more sense, and the state
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was in. But like Brock and Seth, it was like, are you kidding me?
I mean, honestly, I think it would make sense for Drew to do it this time around with all the warnings he's been giving Cody. Drew has spent a good month and a half being like, you're not focusing on me for your title defense, and that's going to be a problem for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he could show him just how much of a problem that was,
Right.
and just squash him in under 3.
I could see that. I think Drew is coming out with the W. If he does not, you got nothing left. Drew's got nothing
Drew's
left
got
in
to
that
go
company.
away.
He
for
does.
A while.
And you got nowhere really in the U.S. you can go.
Yeah.
So,
Can I interest you both in the finish?
sure, let's hear it.
Sure.
Seth goes for a stomp. Drew rises up. Glasgow kisses him. Immediately grabs him for a future shock.
Oh, he's going to win with a Future Shock DDT.
Yep. Right after, just goes for the stomp. Whoop! Head meets head. Come here. Future shock.
Wow, that would kind of tie into the whole Chosen One gimmick they've been talking about. Not gimmick, but like the history of his old character.
Now, if
Say his
Punk
name.
is at the commentary table,
He will be.
that match will go longer strictly because he's there.
Yeah, I could see that. Because I think they did all but confirm that he's going to be on commentary for that match.
So where's Damien in this situation? That's another thing.
Damien is either defending his Money in the Bank case or he's cashing in Raw after.
I would say Raw after.
That would be wild if he took away Drew.
I think Raw after, and he doesn't successfully cash in.
Oh, you think he's going to fail his
I
cash
think
in?
he's going to fail
On
his
what
cash in.
title? On Drew?
I think on Drew. It's either he fails on Drew or he does it against Cody. Because they want to piss us off more.
If they gave Cody that title just to have him lose it on a cash-in the night after, that would be...
That'd be something.
I would be flabbergasted.
That's something they could do. They've surprised us too many times.
I mean, also Seth could just win and Damian cashes in right there because...
If Seth wins, he's getting cashed in on.
Yeah.
For sure, if Seth wins, he's getting cashed in on.
I
don't see a way Cody or Seth leaves with that title.
Right.
I don't really see Damian cashing in on Cody because there hasn't been enough beef there recently as far as characters are concerned. They've just been kind of tangentially associated. If, say, Cody and Jay had won the tag team belts at Elimination Chamber and then dropped them in this intermediary period, sure, I could see Damian cashing in on Cody, but right now, no.
Yeah, I don't.
With SmackDown as the A show right now, no.
Right.
I just don't need it. I need Cody to have a solid first title run.
But at the same time, I'm looking at it as he finished the story.
Story's over.
Yeah, story's over.
Yeah, let the nightmare begin, and then Damian cashes in. You know, I don't want it to happen, but it's not outside the realm of possibility, right?
Not 0% chance.
All right, Roman versus Cody. Cody wins.
Hoping. I'm so in the middle still.
Yeah.
I'm even more in the middle
You
now.
can toss a coin and whatever it lands on, I'm not surprised.
Of course, we all want Cody to win, but it's like we've been swerved once. I can't definitely say because I was like 100% sure, but you know who wasn't?
No.
Being swerved is a subjective experience.
Yeah, you just can't have too many.
Right, and this year I think it's Cody. I think The Rock will play into it.
Bro, we're getting the Avengers in that match.
Oh, that's
Like-
that's gonna be wild.
Jay, Seth, for whether it's to help Cody or help Roman or just fuck Cody, Seth, Solo, Jimmy, possibly Stone Cold because an overture has been made, Cena.
Sami Zayn.
It is going to be an overbooked mess, and I'm gonna love every
It's
minute.
gonna
Yeah.
be dude. It's gonna be everything that they wanted that Triple H versus Sting, NWO, and DX thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be everything they wanted that to be, and it's gonna be done right.
I think so. That'd be nice. That'd be fantastic
Yeah.
television.
All right, so now on the to be determined on random nights matches, Io Sky defending her title against Bayley.
Bailey has to win.
Bayley has to win. There's no reason Io walks out champ.
No.
And Io has been a great champ. I think she's done well.
She's done well.
I think she's done well for what her character is. I don't necessarily think she elevated the title in any way.
No.
I think that's what Bayley's about to do. But I don't think this title run was bad. I think it was a classic, a heel as part of a faction title run.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And yeah, I'm just an EO mark. I know Bailey's gonna win, but
yeah.
hopefully she gets another world title shot sometime in the future.
I think Io proved that she could have another title run.
Her moonsaults
later.
are fucking Bailey up.
Yeah, like I would not be upset if Io gets 2 or 3 or 4 more title runs over the next 10 or 15 years of her career. Like that's fine.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
I wanted to look up real quick
Yeah.
Io's title defenses.
Yeah.
There's been 7. She's defeated Bianca twice, though one was the cash-in.
Yeah.
But she's defended against Michin, Bianca, Charlotte before she got injured, Asuka and Charlotte at the same time, Asuka and Zelina Vega.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid list.
Like solid amount of defenses, but nothing that really
nothing
moved the needle per se.
Right.
This is a good catalyst for a second title run that will mean more.
Yes.
Like this shows, I feel like this title run showed that she can have the title and it can mean something. and her next run, if she's allowed to like monster push, will hit the ground running on being her better of at least those 2 title runs.
I agree with that.
So
She had a great run. It is Bailey's time for sure.
I was gonna say, but that being said, Bailey's gonna have it, and I think Bailey is not. I don't see Bailey holding onto that title for like a year, but I could see her holding it through SummerSlam at least. Maybe loses it at Survivor Series or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't see her having a Rhea Ripley run or a Gunther run or like anything like that. But like 6 months, 8 months, something like that, she'll have it.
I think it'll lead to world title match between Bianca and Jade somehow at WrestleMania next year.
I could see that. And that would be a banger of a match depending on how Jade's next year goes.
Yes, very much.
So, but ultimately Bailey comes out as champion on that. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship.
Gunther.
I am under the impression that this, and I'm 100% under the impression now that this will lead to Gunther versus Ilya at Bash in Berlin. I'm still convinced of that.
And do you think Ilya's going to win?
Yes. So I think Gunther's retaining.
So where does Braun Breaker fit into all of that between now and then? Because there is this elephant in the room of Braun Breaker coming up and being the last person who pinned Gunther in a singles match.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also depends on the lay of the land, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're going to do Bash in Berlin, you're doing a great match that...
I guess they're on different shows, too.
They are on different shows. Ilya's pinned him, Braun's pinned him.
Yeah.
Like,
Ilya's made him tap.
Ilya's made him tap, yeah. Even worse.
Yeah.
So, and like the way he's looking right now, like everyone is so over on Ilya Dragunov. Everyone's so over on Braun Breaker. There are 2 guys that I feel like Braun, world champion, Ilya, mid-card champion.
I feel like this trio of Gunther, Braun, Ilya, I could even throw in, say, like...
It's the next generation of wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say,
eyes.
it's giving, like, that class of Cena, Batista...
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
and not necessarily by size, obviously, but, like, just the level of star power that they're going to achieve and how they're probably going to hand some things
Ring
off back and forth
dominance.
for a while.
Ring dominance is
like
a way I look at it.
There's a specific class of wrestler... like coming up at the same time that I think
We need to talk about the frickin' electric chair spot into like a Spanish fly. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, Braun, that move to Akira, that's some next level shit.
yeah, that's. It's so funny because you said electric chair. I just watched Halloween Havoc 1991. Have you seen that?
Oh, where Abdullah.
Yeah. What was that match called? Like the something of horrors match?
House of Horrors.
House of Horrors or something. I don't
Cactus Jack was in it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
know. Yeah, he was. He was the one who threw the switch on his partner Abdullah. After Rick Steiner, the Steiner brothers were in that match.
Yeah.
Sting was in that match.
God.
It was a really.
I know.
Have you
I
ever
know the
seen
match.
it?
No.
You know who Abdullah the Butcher
So
is?
what it
No.
is it's an open roof cage match, but it's on the floor, not on the ring side.
Okay.
And in the middle of the match, so it's 4-on-4. It's Abdullah the Butcher, Cactus Jack, the Giant Gonzalez, who's El Gigante or whatever at the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's been 2 days and you're still not saying that right.
Yeah.
It's honestly pissing me off.
And then fourth, I don't remember who the fourth is, and then they're facing the Steiner brothers, Sting, and someone else. I don't remember. But literally what happens is halfway through the match, an electric chair comes down into the middle of the ring, and the way you win is to throw one of the opponents into this and throw the switch and electrocute them. Yeah.
I want to talk about the most gruesome and grotesque matches you'll ever see in your whole life. Abdullah the Butcher is going to be in a lot of those.
Look, I called Dusty Rhodes' forehead a gravel road.
His forehead's
His
a gravel
forehead
road and
is
a
like
half.
the Grand Canyon.
To answer your question about Braun, I think Braun's just going to Braun is going to be a world title defense for Cody.
Yes.
For sure.
Between Backlash and Money in the Bank or at Money in the Bank. Like that's where Braun fits in. Braun doesn't need to do anything within with the mid-card title right now.
And that'll elevate Gunther to world title status after Ilya beats him.
I really hope we see that logical progression because Gunther dominated the mid card, but was beating main eventers during that.
Yeah.
So
very
like
much.
I hope that at this point we see Gunther get elevated after his inevitable loss at Bash in Berlin, which apparently we've decided is when he's losing.
Which we might as well live stream at this point too.
I mean, we can discuss that.
Comment down below.
Depending on the time. Yeah, let us know in the comments next to your James Ellsworth comments.
Coward, tell us what you want us to do.
Next match, we have the ladder match. So at this point, the way that it's been set up, the tournament is complete. You have the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus DIY versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus A-Town Down Under versus New Catch Republic. Now, one thing I want to note about this match, all 6 teams have a name. None of these are like 2 people and they don't have a tag team name and it's just their names.
They did it.
Like all 6 teams have a name that has been established. Some of them are loosely established. A-Town Down Under, they don't necessarily run with that too much, but it's been said on TV. They use it. Awesome Truth, they're a legitimate tag team from back in the day. New Day, New Catch Republic. Like I'm just really happy that we're at a time where you can put 6 tag teams in a ladder match at WrestleMania and all of them have a tag team name.
Power thought. Judgment Day takes out Awesome Truth before the match.
And who replaces them, Eddie?
Sorry, I'm over.
It's right there.
It's right there. There's Detroit, baby.
Clayton,
Do it.
do you know what we're doing?
Do that thing now, like.
No.
It's the Motor City Machine Guns.
No. Listen
Oh
to
my
what you're
God.
saying.
They're so good.
Listen to what you're saying.
They're
Stop it.
too good. They're
Okay.
just.
Hold on, but why do you think Awesome Truth is the team that gets taken out?
I feel like just per Judgment Day and the alignment with them, it kind of
Yeah.
makes the most sense for them to get taken out.
Storyline wise, that does make the most sense. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
I felt like it would have made the most sense, and I feel like they wouldn't have done much in the actual match itself.
I thought they could have taken out A-Town Down Under and been fine.
Well, yeah, it's freaking. He's from Atlanta. It's not hard. Like you could put a piece of cheese under a box and then like pull the rope on that shit.
Do you like that the guy whose gimmick is he's from Atlanta made a tag team with a guy whose gimmick is he's from Australia?
Well, yeah.
And then named their tag team after their hometowns, A-Town Down Under.
It's just so weird. It's just so weird. They're weird. They're weird.
That
Even
is-
Grayson, I wanted you to get over on the main roster. Now you're weird for associating with him.
We told you that was going to happen.
I know, and he's just weird. He's just weird. He's weird.
Well, let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say let's work off of the current facts. All 6 of these teams
Yes.
are in the match. Of these 6 teams, who walks out with the tag titles?
DIY gets Raw titles.
Okay.
I do think it's going to be like an instance of 2 teams being up there. One pulls down one set of titles. The other
Yeah.
pulls down another set of titles.
Okay.
DIY gets Raw. I mean, for SmackDown, it kind of just, I guess, New Catch. Because I feel like somehow, some way, A-Town Down Under is going to split it sometime.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's right now, the more build-up that's been happening. But I feel like New Catch is, it kind of makes the most sense at this point.
What about you, Clayton?
DIY's taking the Raw belts. Because we can work in reverse on who's not winning either belts or both belts.
Yeah.
New Day. Judgment Day. Awesome Truth. And out of the remaining 3 of DIY, New Catch, and who am I forgetting?
A-Town Down Under.
A-Town Down Under. DIY is the only Raw team left over, and I would be fine with either New Catch or A-Town Down Under, because we've seen plenty of times a tag team that's a tag team, whether real or in quotation marks, win tag belts and then disintegrate in like 3 weeks.
Here's my thing, because I do agree with the idea that they will. Because first, I'm going to say if they don't split the tag belts, if one team wins both sets of belts, I think
DIY.
Judgment Day just pulls it back. I think Judgment Day just keeps it if they win both belts, and that's fine.
I would hate that.
I would too, but I think that's what's going to happen if they don't split the belts. If they do split the belts and some sort of shenanigans, I agree with DIY winning the Raw belts, but I actually do, in the back of my head, have a feeling that they will use this time to help reestablish the SmackDown tag team division. And in order to do that, they're going to reset the credibility of the tag titles, and in doing so, they're going to give it to the New Day. I think they will give the New Day the SmackDown tag titles in order to reset the kind of SmackDown landscape. That being said, I don't think they're going to hold it for very long. They could lose it at the next pay-per-view. But reestablish tag team wrestling on SmackDown, starting with the New Day, give them another tag run. They could lose it by Backlash. But start there and be like, and basically them being the measuring stick, and then you have a tag team beat them. It's more legitimate that way. And I could even still see it being a New Catch Republic or an A-Town Down Under, but I feel like they will reset the SmackDown tag team landscape.
Right. They just need to
New Day
utilize those titles on SmackDown.
Exactly. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is start with an established tag team. Give it to the New Day. They'll go to all the young teams and be like, you beat us, you get these tag titles, you're established, and you moved on. And again, they can do that first pay-per-view.
Very much. I agree with that.
Clayton?
I don't like it, but I don't have any solid reason to disagree.
Yeah, I could see not liking it just because we don't necessarily need New Day to have another tag title again, but it just, in my head, it just makes sense to do it that way. That way you don't have, like, because, like, if one of these tag teams has a first title win that's, like, in shenanigans, it doesn't help establish them. But if you have them beat the New Day, that establishes you.
If my theory does work, I do think the Guns are taking the SmackDown titles, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be, dude, they could take both titles.
Then I'm getting Guns merch immediately if that happens.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sorry. I'm over. He's over, too.
Dude, I'm over.
Are we all over?
Dude, we're over.
We're over? Even him?
No, well, yeah, he's been over.
Yeah, we're not allowed to mention him, though.
All right, so after that, we got the AJ Styles versus LA Knight match.
Who predicted the at-home invasion?
Clayton did.
Dane, are you Megamind?
No, he's a Smark.
Smark.
Mystic Clay, to you.
To you.
To me.
To you. All right. Hey, it worked. I think it worked pretty well. The body cam footage was...
The body cam footage was cool. And then last night, they did the whole, like, hidden security officer or whatever. LA Knight was in the disguise.
But kayfabe means that he was in disguise for an hour and a half just to jump AJ.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yeah. We love a good petty. I just want to know how he got out of jail.
Also, they're starting to make wrestlers smart again, and like they're looking at the Jumbotron before something happens.
Yeah.
Because Randy had a spot with Logan hiding under the ring too.
Yeah. And I like it when the wrestlers are smart. I don't like it when they're dumb. Any
who's
predictions on who wins that match?
I think it's LA's. It's LA's game. Yeah.
Yeah. Whose game is it? With everybody saying L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
I don't see why AJ would win that match, really.
Which is actually crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like seeing AJ Styles lose, but I don't like him seeing win over other talent that needs it more.
Don't put AJ Styles against LA Knight if you don't want to see AJ Styles lose.
100%. Like, to me, AJ can take a loss like that and just move on. At this point, AJ is in that bucket of like, oh, we need someone to be champ for 6 months. AJ. Like, it would never, at this point in his career, it would never not make sense for him to be champion. So he can take a loss to LA Knight and it'll be fine.
He's locked in for the rest of his career per what he has made it seem like with WWE.
Yeah.
I think he understands the lay of the land as it is right now. He was a champion for a very long time.
Yeah.
He knows that it's time to put more talent over, and he got to work with LA Knight previously. Like he, I assume, would know the talent that LA Knight can bring. Probably not a world title, but hopefully mid card title soon.
LA Knight will win a world title before he retires.
I would
Yes.
love that, but
I don't think he necessarily will get more than one, but I think the one he gets will mean something.
He would have needed that briefcase, in my opinion, and I still don't
I
think.
kind of hope LA Knight's wins more established than that. I don't want his. If I'm only giving him the one world title I don't want it to be on a cash in. I want him to bring someone emphatically and win a match and then defend it for 6 months
That'd
to a
be
year.
awesome if he won a world title, but
Yeah, I'm down for that. All right, so after that we got Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, brother versus brother match.
It's Jay.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy needs it more.
Jimmy's such a dork, though.
Jay makes more sense because he's a much better established singles wrestler, but Jimmy needs it more, and I could see Solo getting involved and picking a side there.
Would it lead to a best of 3 then?
You could see those two going 3. I just don't know if it's going to be 3 WrestleManias.
I think it will lead to not 3 WrestleManias. I mean, like a bloody, gruesome. I feel like a gruesome match. Maybe not a bloody match, but a gruesome match. If Jimmy wins, and Jay's not going to be over with that. If Jay wins, Jimmy's going to probably run away or something.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. If Jay wins, Jimmy's not going to let it go. If Jimmy wins, Jay is going to take that and try to improve himself on Raw, and then come back better the next time.
I think
it'll be a gap. If Jimmy wins, this will continue. Like they'll keep feuding. If Jimmy wins, that'll be it for a while, and we'll pick this back up later. If Jay wins, this feud continues.
Just think it's Jay. Like Solo, yeah, I could see Solo kind of shooting shit outside the ring and costing Jay the match. It ain't gonna be Jim. I don't think it'll be the factor of like he's gonna choose sides. He may use that as like maybe a distraction and then end up giving Jimmy, kind of lobbing him the win.
Yeah.
But I think it's Jay. I'm still under that impression.
I mean, there's also the idea of Solo accidentally hitting Jimmy instead of Jay, and then we run with that like inner bloodline turmoil under Roman for the next little while.
Bold of you to assume our tribal chief is still going to be in role after WrestleMania.
Right.
That's true, too. I think he's going to take his break if he loses his title.
Taking a break, he's going to be on a forced mini retirement by the head chief.
Either way, yeah. So, Clayton, you say Jimmy. Eddie, you say Jay. I'm going to go... I'm gonna go Jimmy. And I'm going to go Jimmy because I think the Bloodline needs some sort of win that isn't that tag match. So I'm going to go Jimmy. If I think Roman's losing the title.
So I guess more looking at if Roman loses, let's say.
Yeah.
Is Rock going to be a staple and still going to be?
The only reason I could see that is because he is a member of the TKO board, so it'll never not make sense for him to be on TV in some capacity. I just don't. If Rock, here's storyline wise, if The Rock is going to put in the effort of helping Roman go through his match on night 1 and get all of the odds stacked in his favor, and then Roman still loses, storyline wise, this version of The Rock is not going to let that go.
Bingo.
Especially if he went through the trouble of acknowledging. I acknowledged you as my tribal chief and you failed me.
Dereliction of duty.
Yeah, like that's Roman may not even get his break right away because he's got to deal with the fallout of The Rock after losing that title in that way.
He's going to beat the dog piss out of Roman. SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's how they write Roman off. And then that's how you get Roman to come back as a face because that's what they want. They want Roman as a face after this title run. So you could have The Rock stay heel, just completely obliterate Roman. You could even have The Rock force Solo and Jimmy onto that right? Take over the bloodline as goons or whatever and turn on Roman. And then Roman comes back 6 months, 8 months later when The Rock is doing whatever random BS he's doing. And you go from there.
I definitely like the idea of The Rock. Well, now that makes me want Cody and Seth to win.
Why? Everything
feel
that
like-
we just
well,
talked about hinges on them losing still.
I feel like, well, to me, another way to look at it, I still think actually Roman and Rock will win that tag match. But
Yeah.
let's say Cody and Seth lose. Roman gets pinned in that match. Let's just say another hypothetical situation. Let's say Cody pins Roman in that tag match. Rock oversees it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like outside the ring, maybe he's like fighting with Seth or like chopping shit with someone, something. He sees it. Same thing. I acknowledged you.
Yeah.
Roman is about to win. Rock interferes in that match. Cody picks up a win like that.
All of that makes sense. I hate that.
I hate that too.
I want Cody's win to be
Clean.
not necessarily clean or untainted, but it has to be both sides. People
Right.
interfered on behalf of Cody. People interfered on behalf of Roman. It's equal. Everything equal. Cody wins. That's what I want.
And like, I still look at it as, yeah, we're just going to have some Avenger crap really going on, taking out the bloodline.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be an Avengers Endgame level head count for that main event.
Yes.
It makes sense. There is no way on God's green earth Roman's getting pinned. No back-to-back nights.
No, for sure. He's not taking consecutive losses like that. That's why that and The Rock's not going to get pinned either. That's why they win night one. And that's what leads to bloodline rules allowing for all of those people to get involved.
Because we're coming out. My honest prediction is that we are coming out of WrestleMania. Cody and Roman might intersect in 2 years from now, but Cody's gonna fight the roster. Roman is beelined for Rock for 41.
Yeah.
Like, you can just pencil that in.
Right.
If Roman gets pinned both nights, regardless of Rock interference, Roman, the character right now, is getting that lick back with Cody first before anything with The Rock.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But you can't literally have them in that program for 6 months, let's say, till Survivor Series, and then go Roman Rock.
Yeah.
Roman Rock's going to be an all-year thing.
Yeah, and I definitely could see that. With the situation that somehow, some way, my theory does happen. I think it's a way to look at it being Rock does take him off TV for a mini retirement.
Yeah. He's gone for like a year or something.
Yeah, he's gone for like a year, shows up at the most convenient time where it like goes against The Rock.
Yeah.
And Rock's heel, Roman's face, set up something like that. You can still make that happen regardless of that situation. But that is a great way to look at where Rock just sees it happen in front of his very eyes.
Yeah. Well, that'll wrap up pretty much everything with the bloodline at that point. After that, we have triple threat for the United States Championship: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
Logan
retains.
Logan retains, but does it lead to a Kevin Owens Randy Orton feud? Is that what we're getting?
I could see that.
Do I want to see that?
No, I don't want to see that.
I don't really care for that. I like them both with what they're doing now as faces. And there's a lot of people that like Kevin Owens as heel more because of his aggression level, but I find Kevin Owens more entertaining as a face.
I do too.
Randy Orton does the same thing whether he's face or heel. That part doesn't really matter.
I think Kevin Owens just as aggressive face or heel. It's just you get more jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like jokes.
So I don't know. I don't need the Randy Orton Kevin Owens feud that I'm seeing coming out of that match, and I also don't see Logan losing, given that his drink is going to be in the middle of the ring.
I also feel like you can't get that hard hitting of a match from a Kevin Owens Randy Orton feud.
If it's no DQ, both of them are very much capable of turning their feud into a blood feud very quickly.
I think Randy Orton's got so much time left though, and I wouldn't want the potential of something happening in the no DQ match where it just kind of
Yeah.
shortens it a little bit more.
It could. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if they're safe, but I don't know. I just don't need. I don't need the Randy Orton Kevin Owens feud that's going to fall out from this triple threat match because one
Right.
of them costed the other one the title.
Yes.
Which one goes
Completely.
face and which one goes heel, or do they both stay kind of in between?
Tweeners.
Yeah, I think tweeners.
Randy's not going to get booed again for the rest of his career.
I agree with that. You know what? There's a small sliver of a possibility of. I could see this almost turning into a bar type situation where Kevin and Randy do feud coming out for a match or two, but out of mutual respect at the end of those matches, form a tag. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties there, but we're back and we're gonna finish up our thoughts. So we were talking about the triple threat with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. I was going over my thoughts around the idea that coming out of this match, you could have a Randy Orton, Kevin Owens feud where they do a match or two, but then out of mutual respect actually form a tag team. And one of the things that I had mentioned was you could even have, like, if you wanted to go that route, you could have like A-Town Down Under or something win the SmackDown titles at WrestleMania, but then Kevin Owens and Randy Orton beat them for those titles, especially given that they've already had a history over the last couple weeks of feuding. So
Yeah, and I feel like with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, like if they do have a feud, I just want it to not be heavy hitting because Randy Orton is on the back end of his career, as we all know. I don't want the clock to get shorter as time goes along, and I feel like having a big match with Kevin Owens would get there. Going the tag team route, I feel like would not make it like that. So I feel like tag team route would be great for him.
it would
And
add some time to his career.
It would
even
definitely
maybe
add
a
some
little.
time to his career.
So.
So I feel like that's a great route to go.
I think it ultimately comes down to what Randy wants to do. I believe Kevin's fine with whatever because he makes a lot of money for what he does.
Yes.
And he's good at it. And he'll always be on TV in some capacity. He won't be an also ran that's forgotten about.
Yeah.
Same with Randy. But Randy has aspirations to have a retirement match with Cena. Cena's shelf life is at 2.5 years. So whatever those two specifically end up doing coming out of this WrestleMania, 90 days or less, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. This should be all right. I don't know. But I ultimately, though, for the prediction of this match in particular, I don't think any of us see Logan Paul coming out not as the U.S. champ still. I think
He's winning that
especially
belt.
with his giant logo in the middle of the ring with Prime. He's got to
Yeah.
get that big celebration going.
Yeah, if he
Absolutely.
can fuck off with the U.S. title for a whole another year, and I honestly wouldn't care.
That's true.
Like they need a Braun. Honestly, he could, but I would rather see Braun have main event matches,
Yeah.
not mid card matches.
Well, that is a textbook example of wrestler making the title versus title making the wrestler. Because at this point, nothing against Logan Paul, but the U.S. title still does not feel important.
No.
I think Logan Paul has the ability and star power to make it important, depending on who he defends against next. But I don't know.
I think the biggest problem with a sustained Logan Paul title run is that him being able to make the title more credible and having the right kind of opponent to
Yeah.
make the title more credible, those two lanes do not intersect.
Right.
Correct.
The people who Logan could face to make the title more credible should reasonably beat the dog piss out of him. And the people who he can have a great match with but doesn't necessarily add to the credibility of his title reign are a tier below him. So a Ricochet.
Like Ricochet is exactly what I
Tyler
was thinking.
Bate as an individual wrestler. Pete
Yeah.
Dunne as an individual wrestler.
Yeah. There's an upper echelon of the mid card where your Gunthers are. I would even say your Sami Zayns. Like Braun Breaker, you could probably put him there by default, but we haven't had too much experience with him.
Right.
So like until Logan Paul gets there, I think yeah, him and his title aren't necessarily the most important things.
Power thought. Does Braun Breaker win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I hope not. And here's why. I don't remember that going well for anyone ever.
Not even Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin.
Who's in so you're a guy in NXT right now.
Yeah, Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Big Show, who was last year's? Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that didn't go well for him.
Of those 4, and I know I'm missing a couple, right?
Probably
Didn't Matt
missing.
Hardy win one?
Yeah.
Those 5 people I was able to name, only one of them is still on the main roster of WWE right now. Like, I'm sorry, it just doesn't do anything. I don't need Braun Breaker to win that. And then, I believe in Braun Breaker enough to win that and have it not fault his career, but I just don't need him on that list.
Right. No, I'm on the same page with that.
Yeah. So, but coming out of that, there's only one official match left and then one unofficial match. I only say unofficial because it's not listed here yet. But we'll do the official one first. We have the 6-woman tag match between Damage Control's Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair, Naomi, and the emerging Jade Cargill.
Ooh. Super double entendre, specifically as it relates to me, that I just thought to describe this match.
Yeah.
The motherland will win.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. That only works for you. Clayton's motherland will win.
And also,
Don't get us canceled.
He can say that. That's fine.
I could say mommy.
Do you want
Yeah.
me?
If you can call Dommy treat, mommy,
Edward,
whatever.
share with our audience what you thought I was going to say, because I clearly wasn't saying what you thought I was going to say.
No, he just everything that comes out of his mouth, I feel like will get us canceled at any time.
That is your goal half the time, I feel like.
Yeah. You know how many times we have to re-record?
We've
There's a
never.
lot. There is a highlight reel of intros that we had to throw
Yeah.
out because of Clayton.
Oh yeah, me specifically. All right.
It is you specifically.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You start giggling afterwards.
Go
Cackling like a hyena.
go ahead, Mr. Ellsworth.
That's true. Too.
Stop commenting it.
All right.
Stop.
Moving on. Who wins this match?
I told you.
Jade, triple pin in the ring.
Jade triple pin. Bop bop bop. Bing bang boom. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, takes all of their lifeless carcasses and puts them in the ring by herself.
And then Bianca and Naomi were just kind of on the corner, just watching.
Yes.
Naomi's getting the dog piss beat out of her. That's what sets up the face hot tag.
Jade's gonna get the hottest tag of the night. Is this the only traditional tag match? Because the other one, other than obviously the Bloodline match. Yeah.
I think it's Jade's match to win.
Yeah. At this point, it's Jade's match to lose, I would say.
Jade is going
to win.
absolutely demolish everyone in her path.
Yeah.
Jade's gonna get the triple. I'll tell you that. I'll give you the finish again. Jade and Bianca are gonna hit both of their finishers at the same time on Dakota and Kairi. Bianca is gonna get misted by Asuka because that's Bianca can never seem to avoid it. So Bianca's gonna get misted. Naomi's gonna be KTFO'd. Dakota's gonna be KTFO'd. Kairi's gonna be KTFO'd, and then Jade's gonna finish Asuka.
Yeah. No, I think
Drag them all, triple pin.
just done. Call it a day. I don't see Damage Control winning that match.
No.
And then the last match, the unofficial match, Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
What kind of a fucking treat is this?
Just
Night one bathroom match.
You know what? We do need those.
But we also need Dami to get a treat.
He will get a treat. He'll beat his dad at WrestleMania.
I was gonna say this is the perfect opportunity for Dom to get his win back.
So hold on. You're telling me. So this does put Dom in the tag team division technically with this win.
No.
Not
So are
the
you telling
women's
me
tag
Santos and Dami are going to win the women's
Shut
tag
the
title?
No, they're not going to win the women's tag team titles.
Shut
God,
the fuck up.
go home.
Those are Dami's titles.
Go home.
I am home.
I legitimately think he's cosplaying James Ellsworth, the inaugural women's Money in the Bank winner.
100%.
Look,
In
Dami
real
needs a
life.
treat. The women's tag titles, I mean, honestly, the Kabuki Warriors are just holding them for him at this point.
First off, either Asuka or Kairi could
Absolutely beat the
dog
hell
piss
out of him. Exactly. Santos will do all the work. Dami, hot tag, hot pin.
Don't
We
say
didn't-
hot pin like that.
We missed another match.
What one?
We didn't cover Becky Rhea.
Oh, that's not listed on here.
Who? It's
Oh, it
mommy's
is.
world.
I just skipped over it.
It's mommy's world.
Well,
We're
we'll
just living
cover
in it.
that. All right. Well, first, who wins this tag match? It's Dami and Santos, right?
Dom and Santos under 10 minutes.
Yeah, no reason. All right. Well, then let's talk about Becky and Rhea. How did we miss that? Because I overlooked it.
It's
I'm the
mommy's.
problem. It's me.
It's mommy's world. We're living in it. That's my
I
thought.
see Becky winning.
I don't see Becky winning.
Rhea won this title at last year's WrestleMania.
Yep.
A solid year-long run. I don't see her winning.
Carry it on.
I'm not. Just to be clear, I'm not against that. I think Rhea, although it's been lighter on title defenses, that just seems to be the times that we're in at this point,
Right.
given other champions. I'm not upset at her title run, and if it continues, I'm fine with that. But I just, at this point, I could see Becky winning. What do you think, Clayton?
I was looking up here. Rhea's had 10 title defenses
Yeah, versus Kyrie's 7 we talked about earlier.
versus EO's 7.
EO's 7, sorry. EO's 7.
Yeah, no, I don't really see. Becky doesn't need the win.
Becky doesn't need the win, but honestly, I don't think Rhea does either. But neither of these women come out of this loss looking weaker.
Yeah,
They both have equal star power, and the title is important enough. Like I don't know. I could see Becky winning.
I really don't see Becky winning, regardless of her contract situation. Just because Becky is hitting Charlotte levels, like how you feel about Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Where I don't need to see gold around Becky's waist. She is established.
That's true.
She really doesn't have a feud with somebody other than Rhea if she wins the belt. We've already done Becky Nia like 3 times on television since the start of the year.
The only person I could see starting that is Rhea gets a rematch, right? But also Tiffany Stratton makes sense.
SmackDown.
She's on SmackDown, isn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then never mind. I got
Becky. Becky. Bailey and Tiffany Stratton is gonna feed families.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good little feud for a while. But so you guys are thinking Rhea's gonna win?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very much.
It services Rhea to keep the belt until next year's Royal Rumble challenger challenges her.
I'm the same way with Clayton. I don't need to see a title on Becky. Like
I agree.
she's done plenty in her time.
So
at
you
this
think
point.
Rhea's gonna carry the belt for another year to next year's WrestleMania?
Yes,
No reason not to.
I do.
No, nobody's on her level except for Becky, and those are PLE matches only. You cannot put that match on network television.
That's true.
I'd say Rhea's a level above Becky at this point.
I would say at this particular moment, yes.
Yes.
I don't think Rhea's career is
No.
above Becky's career, but where they're both at right now, yeah,
Yes,
I would
very
agree.
much. I think
it's only a half step.
you got to put someone on the Raw roster. There's no one in NXT that could honestly step up to.
Honestly, I was kind of looking forward to maybe a Jade Cargill Rhea.
That's what I would say. I'd say it'd either be Bianca or Rhea who would go after Jade.
Yeah.
And it's those 3 in their own universe essentially at this point.
Yeah, they're the women's wrestling of the John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton thing I talked about.
This is the best analogy I can make for Rhea and Becky's positioning relative to the rest of the roster. There is a further distance between where Rhea is and between Rhea and Becky than there is between Becky and the field.
That's true. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Rhea is definitively on the A++ S tier, if you will,
Yeah.
of women ranking, women hierarchy within WWE right now. And then that next tier down is where you have Becky, Bailey,
Charlotte.
Io by virtue of having the belt, Charlotte. Because Charlotte's on her way back. You can run Rhea Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because now they're in completely different places from a career standpoint. And because Rhea is constantly cheered instead of booed, regardless of what she does.
Yeah. Well, and it would also be the tiebreaker, I believe, because Charlotte beat Rhea first.
Yes, Charlotte
So,
took Rhea's NXT title off her. So you can run that back for the trilogy, and we can get true heel Charlotte in it, which is her strongest character.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all of our WrestleMania predictions at this point. Did you guys have any other comments about this card or any matches in particular before we jump out of here?
I'm just looking forward to the aftermath where we get to see Dami and Santos rule the women's tag division.
Happen. And
I'm starting to think you hate women.
Also, stop commenting James out. Didn't you hold on. Zach, pull up the clip where he said women's wrestling didn't exist before like 2016.
Okay, but it didn't.
No,
But
there it is.
But it didn't.
Stop commenting Virgil and James Ellsworth.
Bra and panties matches were a real thing.
That's not,
for titles.
You could argue that's not even the worst one when you remember that there were also like chocolate pudding matches, or
bikini mud wrestling,
like,
strip tease, and that the crowd voted on.
Yeah,
there is a universe where
the Cody Rhodes kissing challenge.
They put the best women's wrestlers in a wrestling ring, and Santino Marella won the women's battle royal.
Santina.
Exactly. If he can win, Dami can win.
She acknowledge her existence.
We're gonna put all that to bed.
Pull up the stats.
Let us know in the comments what you guys have predictions for WrestleMania's Night 1 and Night 2 at this point. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Eddie, for joining. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you soon. Shut up.